Ex-cyclone Debbie is causing torrential rain, flash flooding, wild winds and dangerous surf along the east coast.
Lismore CBD, North Lismore and South Lismore have been issued with a mandatory evacuation order by the SES. The Wilsons River at Lismore is now expected to reach 11 metres early tomorrow morning after sustained rainfall today of more than 270 millimetres in the catchment.
The sight and the sound of this water rushing into the town here is incredible.
We've now already seen close to 300 millimetres just inland from the Gold Coast.
So this one storm alone, if it gets about 500, it could be about a third of their yearly rainfall in just a matter of 48 hours or so.
Here we go. Well, we're in the flood and we're definitely moving through floodwater. We've got ex-cyclone Debbie as a rain depression, and we got water where we haven't seen water before. It's coming up so quick, so we want to get over fast and check this out. We're flooded out. We're going to make it though. We're just going to make it. Here we go. That's the last creek I think we have to cross. One more before the Channon, but I think we're going to make it. We can see our cows. Yep. Normally a little creek you can wade across, but now a raging river. I'm on the bridge, which is the entrance to the Channon, the village we live in, and the water's come right across this bridge. And you can see there's just enormous amounts of flow have come down this catchment. The power of the water is quite incredible. The flood's subsiding, but it's quite incredible how much power we have to deal with here. It's not just a small force, it's an enormous force of water. Here I am out in the properties around our valley. There's great big slips across the landscape that's way too cleared. Those are macadamias on the top, which are sprayed, so there's more or less bare soil underneath, particularly this time of year when they're starting to harvest, and quite cleared cattle country in the foreground. And the consequence is enormous erosion. Well, you can imagine how much water fell in 24 hours to shift all this down the hill, over the slip point, over a tarmac road and on down the hill for quite a few hundred meters. And it's still running now. And it's getting up to like 18 hours since the main flow. And here we just have almost up to my gumboots in slosh. This has all come across the road. It's taken out the back side of the road. The lower side of the road's just caved in and undercut. So this is what happens when major slips let go. The large area of macadamia monoculture above us. It's closed this road, caused a lot of damage. It's a classic case of where you should keep the landscape forested, where you should keep it clear. And this is not a place to over clear. And there's still water coming off the top of the hill now. There's still water going across the road. Let me show you some of the water flows that are now happening on the farm, because there's been 400 millimetres of water come through. And of course, there's still a lot of flows, and they're generally passing through very passively. We've got a little waterfall here over a sandstone ledge, and they're going on down there. There's a couple of hammocks there that probably went underwater in the big flood. And then around here, we have the feeder for that. So there's water coming down there. That's overflowing from one of our dams. And as you walk along this track, we come to the worst piece of erosion on the whole farm. The water was coming down here from an emergency spillway above, Campers Lagoon and Mafia Dam overflow here. And we've just got that little bit of a chew out. Probably hit this bit of sandstone reef, rattled a couple of stones out, caused a bit of erosion. They might have snagged up on this root here. It's a pretty solid root. We've taken out about a bucket of soil there. We can repair that with a shovel and a wheelbarrow, I think. And then you can see the water went over these nice level edges. A bit of clumping bamboo would make that secure forever. There's our valley, our wooded valley down there. And you can see the water's naturally sliced through here over years. And there's this lovely mellow sandstone ledge here that takes our level sill spillway water from our swale above. So now coming down to one of the lower dams, I've walked down the cattle laneway, and this dam has been right over the wall. You can see the flows come over the wall. You can see the debris actually on the cattle laneway fence. You can see here that not only the bottom line has got flood debris on it, but also the top wire. And the dam's perfect. There's no problem at all. In fact, it's still overflowing on the spillway. So if we walk over, you can see the flood debris down below. There's silt deposited all the way through the valley. The bamboos held it all together. There's a bowl and a watering can washed over here where the guys were planting trees a few days ago. Didn't realise this was going to happen. And here's our spillway. It crosses the track here, so it comes through from here. Flows through at this point. And it's still flowing now. So it's a standard spillway. Can see the flow right there. Goes across the track at a nice shallow angle. And overflows on the other side on a nice level edge. So if I cross the fence here, you can see it rolling down the valley. That's what we can do with design. We can slow water, spread water, trap water, store water, and cause no problems. The accumulation of silt here after the flood's quite extreme, and I like to try and trap this stuff because it's high quality mulch. So if we just have a look at what we've got here in this forest, we've got this kind of stuff. Lovely rainforest deposition, and flowed down and is trapped up here in this sort of back eddy of a valley. Whole area is full of silt and high quality mulch. Lovely stuff. Got a swell track behind me that's taken the impact, and right here we've got no problem whatsoever. Our level sill swale track, it's like an emergency spillway, and this swale was flowing right across this track, and that level edge there took all the impact. And now if we plant that with bamboo, because we know it's got to take that flow on these huge events, there'll never be a problem ever again. Now if I show you what this looks like on the level sill, there's the level sill. It's still running. There's a little bit of flood debris on the fence here, and our level sill is actually perfect. There's hardly any erosion at all. Maybe a few cup loads of soil might have moved. That's about all. Our dam's absolutely full, and here you can see the flow went straight through there, underneath our cattle laneway and down into the forest. So if we control like this, if we actually can design with levels that pacify the overflow, that's all we need to do. Once we do this, then we can definitely say that our systems cause no problems, only accumulate more and more resources.